Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Desview R7Siii monitor, which I have right here with me. And I'm going to be telling you the positives, the negatives, and if I think this monitor is worth picking up. Just a disclaimer, Desview did send me out this monitor, but they did not pay me to say anything nice about this monitor. So all the thoughts and opinions are mine, and I have no bias towards the company. So I'm going to share my thoughts on the monitor, and then you can decide at the end of the video if it is that you think that this monitor is worth picking up for yourself. All right, so before I get into the video, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Denny. I am a cinematographer based in Kingston, Jamaica. And on this channel, we talk about, things like this: gear reviews, filmmaking tips and tricks, and cinematography breakdowns to help you level up your videography and cinematography skills. So if that's something that you're interested in, then feel free to subscribe to the channel and join the community. All right, so the Desview R7 I'm going to be looking down because I have some notes here. I can't remember everything about this monitor because there is a lot to like about it. All right, so this is a field monitor and it's an onboard monitor, despite the rigging configuration that is in currently. I have been using this monitor for a little while now. I've had it for a few months actually. And so I think that I've spent enough time with the monitor to kind of figure out what I like, what I don't like. And I think that will kind of reinforce my thoughts on the monitor. I really like to ensure that I have, I've spent time with something before I can speak on it. And so, yeah, just a few things right off the bat. Some of the positives, first of all, it's a 7-inch monitor. It's really, really bright at 2800 nits. That's extremely bright. So using this monitor outside in broad daylight is not a problem because of the high brightness. It also has two HDMI, actually, it has one HDMI input and one HDMI output. It also has, which is on this side, it also has an SDI in and an SDI out. Both of them are 3G SDI ports. It has 3 function buttons on the top so that you can have quick access to some of your favorite functions. And those are assignable to anything for the most part. So if you want to get your exposure, you can use false color really quickly by just pressing one of the function buttons. Or you could assign focus peaking to ensure that you have your image sharp. And it has other features. It's so rich in features. So anything that you as a cinematographer or a videographer need right at your fingertips, it's pretty much in this monitor. What else can I say? It does have it has a 2-pin LEMO power connector, so you can power this by using a 2-pin LEMO cable with a D-tap so that you can go straight from a battery into this monitor. One of the beautiful things about this monitor that I do like is the V-mount, the built-in V-mount plate. As you can see, I do have a V-mount battery right here, and it's super easy to come off. And the other thing that I do like about this monitor is it can be customized, meaning you can remove the V-mount plate that is here to install a two sled or 2 battery sled Sony LP series plate, so that you can choose if you want to use V-mount batteries or use Sony LP series batteries to power the monitor. So that's an option. I do like the V-mount because it's really versatile, and as you can see in this configuration as I have it, I did get a cage for the monitor, so Camvate, this is not sponsored. I bought this cage with my own money, as well as the handles here. So I have it in a cage to protect it, because one downside of the monitor is that it is made of plastic. So it's hard plastic. But if you drop this monitor, you probably will break it. So I did get a cage for it with these handles because I have it to use as a director's monitor setup, which is pretty easy. You can just just grab it and go easily, and just hold it like that. And then you attach your transmitter here, because this cage has a hot shoe or a cold shoe mount right into the top of the cage itself, so that you can just mount an accessory there. And I just mount my transmitter or receiver to this and plug straight into the monitor pretty easily. So let's take a look at some of the features that the Desview R7Siii has, because there's a lot of them. It has a lot to offer, and I'm going to go through the menu one by one just to show you some of the features and what they can do. So to access the menu quickly, you just tap on the LCD panel, click into the menu button, which takes you to all the menu options like exposure tools, all your focus and composition tools, LUT configuration, display setting, system configuration. So let's start in the exposure assist. You have false color, zebra, histogram, waveform, vector scope, and all of those, including HDR. This monitor does feature HDR functions covering PQ and HLG type of HDR content. So that's a possibility. If you want to monitor your signal, your HDR feed, you can do that. You go into false color, you can choose spectrum or ARRI false color, whichever you prefer, you can use to monitor the signal that's coming in. You have zebra functions. That helps you to know if your highlights are being clipped. You have histogram, which you can choose to position the histogram pretty much anywhere on the screen. And you can choose the level of transparency that your histogram has. Also, you have RGB histogram, or brightness as they call it, or luminance histogram. With the waveform function, it's the same thing. You can choose luminance or RGB. You can place your tool anywhere on the screen for the most part. Vector scope, same thing, open. You can put it anywhere you want and you can use that tool. You can also do the all wave function, and it will bring up all of your exposure tools surrounding your image so that you can see what's going on. For composition, we have single color, peaking. You can choose what type of peaking, and also what I love about this monitor is you can choose the size of where your peaking is being affected by using these parameters. And you can shift that box around. You can choose the height. You can even choose the strength, how much. You can choose weak, average, or strong. So you can choose what color peaking you want: red, green, blue, or white, depending on the scenario that you're working with. You also have center mark. One thing I wish this monitor could do with the center mark is adjust the size. I think the center mark is a little bit too big for my liking. You have safe area. So if you want to do titles and so on, you can use the safe area feature, and you can choose different colors as well: red, green, blue, white, and black, so that you can know where to put your, using broadcast safe areas and so on. You have mark ratio, which basically allows you to choose a frame line guide. So if you want to do 185, 235 content, if you want to frame for that, then you can do that with this monitor. You can also choose the level of transparency for your frame guide, and you can choose the color of the frame guide itself as well. So you have 4:3, 16 by 10, 16 by 9, 185 to 1, 2351, and 241. It also has grid lines. You'll be able to choose different colors of your grid lines as well. But you also can do 3x3, 2x2, 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, and 8x8. Whatever floats your boat, you can use that. Audio meters, you can choose to monitor the audio that's coming into the monitor and choose left or right. LUT configuration, you can, if you're not outputting Rec 709, you can use the LUTs built into the monitor, as well as you can import your own LUTs. And you can click open and it will convert whatever that log signal is to the Rec 709 version. So you can view your, you can delog your image on the monitor. As you can see, you have user LUTs and camera LUTs, custom LUT. This is where you would go to basically import your LUT using the USB slot there on the monitor. Display settings, we have aspect ratio. You can choose 4:3, 16:10, 16:9, 1851, 2351. You can do display flip, and you can flip it in different orientations. So you can flip it vertically and horizontally. So if you want to mount your monitor upside down and flip the image, you can do that. You have zoom functions where you can zoom in to check the focus, critical focus. It has pixel to pixel if you need it. H delay and V delay. You can do image freeze and it will freeze the image. You have battery and fan controls here, so you can choose auto, low, medium, or high for the fan. And you can have the battery information displayed on the monitor itself. It has anamorphic support, 133, 1.5, 166, 179, and the most known or used 2.0, 2 times squeeze anamorphic. So if you want to de-squeeze your image on the monitor, you can do that if you're using anamorphic lenses. Then in system configuration, you can choose whatever language you speak. That's great. They have a lot of different languages. Color, you can choose to brighten the monitor if you wish. You can make your image much, much sharper, which is great for focus pulling. You can choose the contrast levels, saturation. You can dial in, you can pretty much dial in the color and the image quality that you want. Color temperature, you can choose between red, green, and blue channels to make adjustments to your color if you want to match your camera's output or the back of the screen of the camera that you're using. Backlight, you have standard or high. I gotta turn it down because it's so bright. Sound, it has sound pass through, so you can mute the sound that's coming in or keep it on. And the hotkey, which are the function buttons that are up here. You can assign these functions to any of these function buttons at the top. You have USB upgrade support. So when there's a firmware update for this monitor, you can have access to that and update the monitor. So we're pretty much at the end of the video, and you've heard about the pros and the cons, which aren't a lot because there's a lot to love about this monitor. It has so many different features, that we've went over that, a videographer, cinematographer, or a content creator would welcome. All the necessary exposure tools, LUTs, you name it, power options, it all around a great monitor. There's one thing I even forgot to mention is that it also has a DC power out. So you could potentially power accessory passing through this monitor, which is insane. So at the $230 price tag, there's not a lot to not like. Again, the build quality is it's hard plastic. So, there's a trade-off where price and the quality of the actual build is concerned. But if you're out there, you're a videographer or a content creator and you need a reliable monitor to, use in your YouTube setup, or just, if you're a wedding filmmaker or you make content for brands, this is a good addition to your arsenal, and you won't break the bank trying to get it. So yeah, I recommend this monitor to anybody who, as I mentioned, fits those different roles, and you're trying to find a monitor that is bright, that you can see in broad daylight, and has great color and a great image. So would I recommend it? Yes, and that is my conclusion. So once again, thanks Desview for sending this monitor out to me. I've been enjoying my time with it, especially using it as a director's monitor. And yeah, man, there's a lot to love, not really a lot to hate. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.